Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Fata Morgana. So we are going to dive today into someone else's memories. We're going to dive into the memories of Mel, because Mel is going to tell us the whole story, why he got into this mess, and will determine if he's worthy of saving or not, if we can save him or not, if Morgana should forgive him or not. Like, all the questions. There might be answers today, maybe tomorrow, who knows. And yeah, I guess let's just go. So I assume I can change my camera to the side, because I don't think we're going to have like Mel right on the right side, right? I will just move my camera for the time being here. Until around the time I turned 17, my life was mostly uneventful. On days when it was nice out, I would take walks around the house grounds. Sometimes napping beneath a tree. Sometimes it was a picture square, and you were always there with me. You have the same flax color hair as me, but yours always seems to glisten in the sun, whereas mine is flat and dull. You shone like a tiny little dancing sun. At the time, I assumed that was how life would always be. I generally wanted it to be. Okay. Following my 17th birthday, though, I was met with the deluge of changes. This is actually a very cozy area. I very like this place, how it looks. So cool. First, father fell ill and passed away shortly thereafter. With his death came the question of who would be next head. As the oldest son, normally it would fall on me to take his place. I was 17, by all means, enough of an adult to handle things myself. Or well, that's what I thought anyway. Nobody else did though. After discussions, I had no part in it. It was decided that my uncle would be the next head. Yet they weren't confident I had the spine to do the job properly. I wasn't sure what to think. Part of me wanted to know why nobody bothered talking to me, and part of me was relieved. Yeah, no wonder. Like, that much of responsibility suddenly. I mean, he probably been like aware for a while that he's going to be the next head, right? If his father's passed away, that's how it should be, I guess. But also the amount of anxiety he would feel, yeah. No wonder he felt relieved a little bit. But also bothered at the same time, yeah. Somewhere inside I knew I didn't have what it took. So I was more than happy to let someone else take that responsibility. If it meant I could go on with my quiet life, I didn't care who they picked. My uncle though seems to have caught on my apathy, which he did not take kindly to. In response, he formally disowned me. Oh, god damn it. You are not the only one who still had some growing up to do, Nelly. I wasn't quite the adult I thought I was either. Fortunately, if you want to call it fortune, I was given enough money to live on for a decent length of time, as well as a place to stay. It was a small house, far from home. His way of making it hard for me to come back. Not that I had any intention of returning, but the best thing to come out of it all was you coming with me, Nelly. Okay, so they basically being kind of forced to move out from Rhoda's family. This is interesting. So they were left behind. So, this is our new home, dearest Mel. Yep, so it is. It's amazing how little there is. No big yard, no paintings, no vases filled with colorful flowers, no silver bowls full of fresh big fruits. But there is you and me. You are not going to go and say you want to return home in a couple months when you realize life isn't as luxurious here as it was back there, are you? There's only one thing in the whole world I'd really need. Oh? Unless I can live without shiny shoes and pretty dress like mother wears. I need composers to come and write me songs for my birthday. As long as I have the one thing that matters most to me, I can do without anything else. I'm just saying, I'm as happy as I've ever been. Yeah, but the problem is like this place also doesn't have like any kind of medicine and stuff. So that's why Nelly got sick probably, and Mel was like searching for any kind of cure. And Rhoda's family wouldn't help them probably. I don't need all that fancy expensive stuff. We might not have a huge yard, but the sun shines everywhere. Flowers can grow even without a gardener tending to them. Nelly? I'll do whatever I can for you, dearest Mel. Are you hungry? I'm hungry. Oh, yeah, a bit. Alright, I will make something then. Start out with some fruit jam, and maybe make a pie out of it. What else sounds good? I'm craving cookies. You've got quite a sweet tooth. You're going to make yourself sick like that. As of a smile I've seen since we got here. What? That can't be right. I'm sure you've been smiling. Nope, you've been throwing away. Whatever I say. Forget about all that stuff at home. We've got each other. We can do this. Who cares that we are not rich anymore? We'll figure things out in no time. And then we'll have more fun than we did back then. Yeah, you're right. We'll all work out, dearest Mel. I will always be here for you. You've got yourself an adorable little princess. What more could you possibly need? Cheer up. Thanks. I'm really glad you decided to come with me. Oh, did you think for a second I wouldn't? I'm your princess, dearest Mel. And princess belongs with the princess. Princesses belong with the princess. I suppose so. Until that day, I had never known how good it felt to have someone who wanted me in their life. He saw me for me. I realized for the first time how blessed I've always been. Interesting that he didn't show it like before. I mean, she's always been around, right? So I guess like yeah, like his and Nelly point of view were like totally different. Like he saw her just like, you know, yeah, you're my sister. Yeah, sure, cool, right? But also he had like a lot of stuff, and he not basically he's been rich, right? Had a lot of like maybe not influence, but his parents were influential. He always could get anything he wanted, and now he realizes that that's not like what really made him happy, I guess, right? That subconsciously it could always be like Nelly just being around. He realizes it now. I was hardly prince material. I wasn't strong or handsome or regal enough for that. But Nelly calling me a prince gave me the illusion of being worth something. It made me feel like I could keep on being that richly blessed young man, even this far away from home. So like Nelly's his like kind of coping mechanism if you think about this. Like he still like feels like he's rich. Also, this is interesting that they are not rich anymore, right? Because they're like being exiled from Rhoda's family, it seems basically. It is old, right? So this is interesting that in the first door, they are actually still within the Rhodes family. Like they are rich. It seems like Morgana didn't knew this then. Because if Morgana made their souls to be trapped and they've been like reincarnated, I assume she would create this like situation when he's rich again. Maybe she didn't knew that actually in life he lost everything beforehand. Maybe Morgana didn't knew that. Or maybe Mel will like somehow regain his wealth later. But we'll see. Let's read. When I had been given some money, my supply was far from infinite. I knew I would eventually have to find some kind of work, some way to support myself and Nelly. But to be quite honest, I couldn't gather the motive to do much of anything. The problem of early young days when you still don't want to do shit and you feel like you have everything. My whole life had changed so abruptly, so dramatically, that my mind just wasn't able to keep up. Yeah, pretty much. It had knocked me on my backside, and I didn't have the strength to get back up. I couldn't tell Nelly that, of course, so that's what I said instead. I'm staying home because I want to be with you as much as possible. And she happily took me at my word. Our new life began was quite unremarkable. Even so, it was still a constant stream of new experiences. But the two of us, having been pampered our entire lives. Okay, I think I see where this is going. Like, Nelly probably got sick and he's blaming himself for not being able to afford any kind of medicine because he didn't get any job. I think that's what the case here. So he used Morgana, which was free. Welcome home, dearest Mel. What did you buy today? I got a chicken. Oh, never seen one so up close before. Are you going to keep it as a pet? I was planning to using it for a supper. What? You are going to cook it? That's the idea. You like chicken though, don't you? Steamed especially, if I remember right. Yes, but yeah, she never saw basically how the chicken been processed before. She just like had the chicken on the plate. It is all covered in feathers and flapping about. How am I supposed to cook it? If I remember, the guy said you have to pluck its feathers, then cut off its head and drain all the blood. No way, absolutely not. Not in a million years. Nelly, that's how it works. You do it, man. You do it, Mal. What? I've never done this before. Well, I'm not, so you do it. Right. I will bring it to the... Not inside. Do it outside. Okay. I've never had to slaughter a chicken before. Have any of you been like saying like getting like a chicken for dinner or something before? When I've been a kid, like we had like a chickens basically, like just for us, for like eggs and like for chickens basically. And from time to time, we just like took one chicken out basically. So I never actually did any by myself because I've been like too young and stuff. Like I couldn't even like hold the damn thing, but yeah, it's been around back in the days, a few like many years before. The chefs back home always took care of it. Chefs. God, I hope I don't screw this up. Well, I'm not going to accomplish anything if I just sit here worrying. Just gotta give it the best shot. Oh, please don't put up a fight. Ah, I can't watch. The count of 3, okay? The count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait, come back. It's gone. God damn it. Really? Like, Mel, you had this chicken in your hands when you've been out in the house. How the fuck did you lose it? Why did you put it on the ground? At first, I was just fumbling about in the dark, constantly messing up everything I tried. But in time, I started getting more comfortable with things, and I stopped pinning for my old life. For the longest time, I couldn't shake the memory of the fact that I had once been a noble. I was constantly wondering how I had ended up there, why this was happening to me. Then it seems to have adjusted fairly quickly, but I wasn't faring so well. I mean, Nelly is younger, so she didn't have any time to really, like, adjust to the nobility of life, I guess. Like, Nell been 17 when it happened. Like, he basically most of his like early life he's been a noble, so it's hard to like change a life suddenly like this. I was surprised, honestly. How old was Nelly? Does anyone of you remember? I forgot actually. Can you remind me? Like, she's like 3 years younger. I think like Mel was 17 and she was like 14. I think like 14 was like the age when they had the party of becoming an adult. Something like that. Am I remember correctly? Can you remind me in the comments, please? I forgot. I was surprised, honestly. I figured if anyone was going to have an issue with our new lifestyle, if it was going to be her, not me. Back home, Nelly had tended to be, well, a bit of a princess. She was frequently harsh with the Abigails, scolding them for the smallest of things. There were times I thought she might be biting her tongue for my sake, but every time it crossed my mind, she would say, "I got you, dearest Mel. Everything's just fine." And it was those words that kept me going. Oh, dearest Mel, I just had the most wonderful idea. Would you like to hear it? Sure. What's your idea? We should get married. Why didn't they drink coffee at the same time? God damn it. What? You can't be serious. As serious as it gets. I mean, we're basically married already in everything but name. We can't do that, we're siblings. Nobody here needs to know that. They can guess from our hair and eye color though. I don't think we look that much alike. I think you very much do look like alike. Anyway, whatever gave you that idea? If we get married, we can be together forever. We can do that just as brother and sister. It's not the same though. No one says two siblings live happily ever after. I want to be with you for the rest of my life, dearest Mel. And the best way to do that is to get married. But Nelly, what are you so hesitant for? Is there someone you pine for? No, but there's no problem. I have a feeling like I know, because I've been like wondering. Actually, if you think about this, Morgana cursed Mel, right? Because of like what she felt like Mel did to her. And we know what he did to her, right? He like basically took a hand and betrayed her and stuff. So obviously like she's going to curse Mel, so he's like in despair and stuff. But if you think about this, Nelly's fate is not better in like First Door. She also was like full of despair and stuff. I wonder if like Mel regret, basically, like curse of Mel, made him to drag Nelly's soul together with his, basically. So she's cursed as well as the chain reaction. I wonder if like this is going to be a weak point for him in like this conversation we are going to have, right? Like it's going to be like, we are not saving just your soul, Mel. We are saving also soul of Nelly. Because of what you did, she's suffering as well. Because if you think about this, she did suffer, right? She's been jealous all this time. She committed basically a crime. She scalped the white-haired girl and everything. She's pretty much cursed as well. And it's probably because of Mel. Because Morgana have no reason to really curse Nelly at this point. She saw Nelly being ill one time. She did nothing to Morgana really, outside of like ingesting her blood basically because Mel like wanted to give it to her. But this is not like that she called Mel to like, hey, give me the blood of Morgana, you know? Unless Morgana like thought that's the case. But yeah, anyway, I think like it's going to be like Nelly is going to be like our bargain chip or something here. And there's no problem. Your blood-related siblings. Does she realize that getting married means eventually having children and everything that leads up to that? That it goes against the teaching of the Lord. Teachings. No, she's still just a kid chasing after the fairy tale ending. She doesn't understand the reality of what she's saying. Sometimes I'm not sure what to do with you, Nelly. So you will marry me? But right now, I know you need God's word. Saturday night, you are getting your own private sermon every night. Understand? Bleh. Okay. And Mel in the first door also been like a lot into clergy, right? In the beginning. He's been always with the priests talking and stuff. My instruction was as much for my own sake as it was for the Nelly's. I'm not going to lie. The thought did cross my mind that her proposition might not be so bad. For one, I couldn't imagine spending the rest of my life with anyone else, and I had been her smile that had kept me going when things got difficult. It had been, yeah. But I knew that it was a sin, and I didn't think I would be able to live with myself if I crossed that line. So night after night, I taught her, reminded her that we were brother and sister, and that we didn't have to be anything more for her to be the most important person in the world to me. And after about the third month away from home, that life began crumbling, okay? Illness phase, probably? Yep. Ellie woke up one day with a high fever that refused to break. At first I thought it was just a cold and that should be over, and she would be over it so soon enough. But as much as I tried to convince myself, oh, she will be better tomorrow, she just kept getting worse, until eventually she couldn't even get out of bed. She had visibly lost weight, and I had never heard her voice so weak and lethargic before. Okay. Is there anything you would like me to get you, Nelly? All I want is you to be here with me, dearest Mel. You really should eat something. And make something you like. How about a nice, expensive chicken? The last one go away, but I won't let it happen this time. I'm not really in the mood for anything too heavy. Oh, okay. Don't you worry, Mel. I'll be better before you know it. Yeah, you will. I wonder what kind of illness Nelly got, actually. I'm very curious. What is it? You'll be just fine. Everything's going to be back to normal soon. Uh-huh. Watching her grow weaker every day scared the hell out of me. I desperately did not want to lose her. If I lost her, then who would be left that wanted me? Who would tell me I was worth something? Who would say nice things about me? Who would be there with me every day? Just when I had started to feel optimistic about this new life, started to feel comfortable in it, it was like it might fall apart again. Yeah, so basically he got like, again, attached too much to one value, if you think about this. I mean, I understand, because like, basically at this point, like, Nelly's his reason to live, right? Like, she's like the only person like really have contact with him from his family, and yeah, in general, like before, like he's been like attached to Rhodes and the riches and everything, and then he couldn't believe that this life is over, and now it's the same. He's attached to Nelly a lot, and he cannot just like imagine his life without her, and that is like significantly harder, because she's like not some material goods that you can like just dispose of. Like this is like just her like his like real sister. So yeah, you just cannot imagine your life after this, I guess. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, no wonder like he broke. He like wanted to do anything, basically, but still it doesn't justify why he would like, you know, chop off, like ask for Morgana like head. Like basically, why would he betray Morgana like this if she's been giving her blood willingly anyway? What gave him idea to give Yukimasa the information about her? I searched everywhere for some medicine that could cure her. Healthy foods, fruits and vegetables with supposed medicinal properties, anything I could get my hands on. I prayed, and Nelly, you were overjoyed. You were thrilled I would go to such lengths for you. But the reality is, I was really doing it for myself. Ah, I see. But as much as I searched, I couldn't find anything that worked, and I started to panic. I would go to bed at night, afraid I would wake up the next morning and Nelly wouldn't. I was already grasping at straws, and I was ready to try anything that had even the slightest chance of curing her. And then one day I heard whispers of the witch who lived by the lake. They said that she was a recluse, that she hardly ever left her house, and that she hadn't been down to the city in years. They told me she might have some medicine herbs that could help, so I rushed down to the lake to see her. Okay. Sitting by the shore was a small cottage, even less luxurious than where Nelly and I were living at the time. Seeing the thin trails of smoke rising from the chimney, I was convinced the rumors were true. A witch lived in that house. I wasn't sure what to expect, but being a recluse, I figured she wasn't going to be very sociable at last. So we're going to meet Morgana for the first time, huh? To tell you the truth, I was kind of scared to knock on her door, but I had exhausted all my other options, so I clenched my teeth and gave the door to firm her ups. Who's there? The sound of voice got me off guard, and all I could do was stare at the door with a knot in my throat. Based on the information I had, I assumed I was going to find a wrinkly old woman, but that was the voice of the young girl. And even though she only said 2 words, there was something indescribably enchanting about that voice. I could listen to her talk for hours on end, in some kind of strange hypnotic trance. It was almost like magic, for lack of the better words. I stood there dumbfounded, like my soul had been sucked from my body. Who's there? She repeated her question, which brought me back to reality. Though I still had to fight to maintain my wits enough to respond coherently. My sister has fallen very ill, and she desperately needs medicine. I was told that the person who lives here is a skilled herbalist. Could I please get something to treat her? What are her symptoms? Oh, she's got extremely high fever that won't come down. She has no appetite, she's only drinking water, and she can't get out of bed. Huh, we're going to want to lower her fever first. After that, get her on the nutritious diet. I'm going to give you 2 medications. Give her the first while her fever is high, and the second after it comes down. Well, thank you very much. Her voice wasn't bright and energetic like Nelly's. It was more restrained, somber and quiet. It's simultaneously clear and sharp. I like that we have like this reminder actually of this story, because I actually forgot that Morgana gave like first actually herbs, like actually 2 medicines to her. I actually forgot about this. Was that actually the case? It sounds tickled my curiosity. I wanted to know what she looked like. Or maybe she actually gave him like 2 doses of blood. Maybe that's the case. And we have like placebo effect. I wanted to know what kind of girl stood on the other side of the door. With a voice that pretty, she must be equally lovely, I thought. Yeah, she's like cut all over the places. And I had to say it for myself, and my wish didn't fall on deaf ears. When she opened the door to hand me her herbal medicine and take my money, her head peeked out between the cracks even so lightly. I said I would tell you everything exactly as it happened, so I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. It was unsettling, yeah. It was nothing like I had imagined from her voice. Her skin had, I guess, fallen off or something, because you could see the raw red flesh beneath. To say it was hard to look at would be an understatement. Most of her face was covered by the black hood, so all I could see was her mouth and chin, but even that much was harrowing. But the last thing I wanted to do was look away. For all I knew, that was why she had become a recluse. And I couldn't let myself hurt her, so I suppressed my own disgust and put on my best smile. People often tell me I have a very pleasant, unreliable smile, so I figured I could use that to prevent her from picking up on what was actually going on through my mind. When she saw my face, a look of surprise seems to cross hers. The witch herbs did indeed seems to help some. Okay, so these were actually herbs in the beginning. Okay. Going to visit her was better than talking to any of the local doctors. Nevertheless, Nelly hadn't been cured. She was only feeling a little bit better. So I kept paying the witch visits, kept purchasing more herbs from her. And every time I went to the cottage and I heard her sweet voice, I imagined how much sweeter it would sound without the door obstructing it. Even knowing what she looked like didn't stop the curiosity from growing within me. From what I gathered talking to her, there wasn't much of an age difference between us either. She was 16, and I was 17. And I'm sure you know who it is. When you meet someone around your age, you feel sort of a sense of kinship. This girl I had originally believed to be some kind of otherworldly witch was starting to feel like a regular person like me. Through our conversations, I managed to learn her name, as well as the fact that she came here from the faraway country. We're both a long way from home. Thinking she might open up even more to someone who's been through a similar experience, I decided to try inviting her to go on a walk with me. It's not healthy to stay holed up inside all the time. You've got this beautiful lake right here. Like, what do you say we take a little walk around the shoreline? To my surprise, she accepted. It is pretty view. I can agree, yeah. Oh, yeah. We have this. And actually in the light this time, not in the shadows. And she have 2 hands this time, actually. Yeah, because it's not chopped off yet. Yeah, damn it. Also, you can see like the details on the hands as well. Like she have like scars where like she's been cut. You see it? Huh. Big details. Great weather, isn't it? I love the way the sun reflects on the surface of the lake. It's gorgeous. Are you okay? I'm in disbelief, to tell you the truth. Huh? What for? You've seen my face, you know how hideous I am, and still invited me on a walk. You're a very peculiar person. Is it really that strange? I mean, we're almost the same age, so I figured we might make pretty good friends. You want to make friends with me? Well, sure. We've been through a lot of the same thing. So we can understand each other better than most. Understand each other? Yeah, we're both young, but we've been through some rough times. I'm going to be blunt with you. You have not been through anything like I have. What? No? Nope! Not even close. If you had experienced the things I have, you wouldn't be smiling right now. I haven't known you long, but I don't need to have in order to know how unequivocally dissimilar we are. We are cut from a different cloth. Yeah, we are people. We are not made of cloth, so... That's not what it means, you know. Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so harsh. In fact, I would say you're much better off not being in my position. It sounds like you've been through a lot. If you don't mind me asking, what happened to you? I'd be happy to lend an ear. I might make you feel better It might make you feel better to get it off your chest. And that is what's so different about us. Huh? I will not tell you about myself, no. That said, I do appreciate the concern. Thank you. Oh, sure, you're welcome. She's not very open with people, huh? Yeah. And there's a reason for that. I guess that's only to be expected. That she hasn't spent time around people, looking the way she does. And if there's anything I can do for her, at least get her to show a little bit of emotion. So if it's not too much to ask, you think we could maybe do this again sometimes? Don't expect me to lower my prices. I'm not trying to squeeze a better deal out of you. I just want to get to know you better. Nothing more of it. No ulterior motives or promise. Did you forget? I've already said I won't be telling you about myself. Right then, it doesn't have to be about you. We can talk about anything, whatever you want. Do you have a favorite food, any hobbies? Nothing in particular. Well, that was a fruitful conversation. Yeah. If you think about it, about what you can talk about with Morgana, like she's been in such a horrible situation that she basically almost gave up on life, basically, at this point. Yeah, okay, crap. I have no interests or tastes worth mentioning. So if you want to talk, I suppose that leaves you to business subject. Me? Tell me about yourself. My life is not that exciting, and I think I had tell you would probably just bore you. I'm not looking for excitement. Oh, okay. Alright, I guess I can tell you about myself. Okay, and now he's talking about Rodda's family and stuff. And so I did. I told her about my family situation, and I told her about Nelly, and that was pretty much all I had to talk about. For the most part, she hardly even reacted to anything I said. It was difficult to tell if she was listening or not. But she would urge me to continue whenever I'd go quiet for more than a few moments, so I suppose she was listening. Every time I came to purchase more medicine, we would go on a walk, around the lake together. A single loop around the shoreline didn't give us much time to talk, but my attempts to reduce our walking pace or stop to extend our time together well foully ignored. Okay. Oh. I'm sorry, I don't know for how long you have like this grain on the camera because I forgot to check, but yeah. Sorry about that. Oh my god, my eyes. And she refused to go around more than once, claiming it would disturb her daily rhythm. That said, she never refused an invitation either, so I don't think she particularly disliked me. Yet, anyway. Oh, Robin. What does a Robin have to do with your sister? Nothing. I just saw one over there. If you listen, you can hear it singing. They migrate somewhere warmer when it gets cold. They just fly off to some place more comfortable. If I had wings like a bird, maybe I could be free too. There's not a single creature living this world that is free. I mean, she's not wrong. If you think about this, everyone is shackled by something. You can't really be free. Like, you can claim that you are free, like, let's say you have a lot of money and, like, you say, like, you can travel wherever you want and, like, you can do whatever you want. No, you cannot do whatever you want. You're still shackled by stuff. In a sense, you know? Birds regularly get shot down by hunters or preyed on by the larger birds. The idea that they are free is nothing more than a man's short-sighted delusion. Sorry, I guess. No, I should be apologizing. I wasn't trying to attack you. I simply lack the ability to properly empathize with others. I do not understand people. So please, if I say anything that upsets you or makes you uncomfortable, don't assume that was my intention. Sure. Maybe you're hiding it, or maybe you just don't know it yet, but I think you got more empathy than you're letting on. Surely you can say nothing affects you at all. You are human. So you don't have to be so close off. I might not be able to do much for you, but I do want to get to know you better. I want to understand you. So if you ever feel like talking about yourself, just know that you've got an eager pair of ears here. Like, Mel being so fucking awesome before everything went to shit. Like, why? Why did you betray her like this? Okay. If there were ever someone who could understand me, could empathize with me, they would not be human. What do you mean? That you would need to be far removed from any idea of humanity to have a chance at understanding me. Regardless, I do appreciate your kind words. Sure. So, out of curiosity, do you have anyone really important to you in your life? Not at the moment? Does that mean you used to? I'd love to hear about them if you don't mind. They are all long dead. Yeah. She's talking about the brothel, right? About all the girls inside and stuff that were like later murdered in the ride. 4 years ago, yeah, something unpleasant occurred. And as a result of that, I was forced to part ways with the people who taught me that humans have the capability for kindness. Oh, I'm sorry. Well then, if your sister's condition worsens again, Come see me. Farewell. Hey, maybe we could walk a little slower next time, so we have more time to talk. I want to get to know you better. I'll consider it. Okay. So I actually wanted to like talk more. She slowly started to open up, actually, to Mel, it seems. That could be such a good like saving place for Morgana. Like if they had more time, then Mel could potentially save Morgana right here and there. If you think about this. Morgana slowly started to opening up to him. Why, Mel? Why did you fuck this up so much? How did that happen? Doesn't really require that much thought. So long. Bye. See you soon. Things continued on like that for a while. Nelly bounced back and forth between getting better and getting worse. Emotionally, I followed, not far behind, getting very little in the way of peace of mind. Having to spend so much time worrying over and looking after Nelly was starting to wear me out, even though I knew good and well she had it much worse than me. I wanted to be done with it all. I wanted to be free. I wanted her to get better as soon as possible, so I could stop agonizing over her. Yeah, see? Like, this is what he said before, like, he did it for himself instead for Nelly. And, like, in this, like, dialogue here, you can see that as well. I wanted to be done with it. I want to be free. I want her to get better, so I can stop agonizing. See? Like, everything, like, he's been, like, worried about his sister and stuff, but he's been worried for extremely selfish reasons. He wasn't like afraid of, like, that Nelly will die because like his sister will die. He's afraid of being alone because his sister will die. And that's kind of fucked up. So at some point I started pushing for the miracle. I didn't care if it came from God or angel or something less holy. I just wanted someone to cure Nelly and take the weight off my shoulders. And during one of our walks, I let that slip. I'll take anything at this point to make her better. I will even take a miracle if I can get one. I assumed she would, as she had a tendency to say that people who believe in miracles were delusional. She was in my mind very much a realist, which is why her response surprised me so much. Yeah. Do you sincerely wish for a miracle? You certainly do.